Facebook fans, what's going on this Friday Eve with my man Max Kellerman?
Friday Eve is one of the best things
yes, we love it.
Ever said.
We get so excited, and our Friday Eve is about to really kick off because First Take is over, and we're going to head home shortly. But first, I want to get to your questions, and I just want to shout out all the Cubs fans. Congrats. Do you want to say the real Cubs fans?
Yeah, only if you're like if you're a real loyal Cubs fan, and you know your grandmother's 90 years old, she's been waiting her whole life to see it, and she heard stories from her dad. Fine, congratulations. Everyone else, you bandwagon fans, as Stephen A would say, you make me sick.
All
like
right.
the Red Sox fans after '04, same thing.
Boston.
They're all the same.
Boston,
by the way,
not a huge fan of you right now.
But by the way, it's the same people. The same people who claimed to be Red Sox fans after '04 are now Cubs fans suddenly.
All right, let's get into it. This one's from Richie Esperanza. I like this question. If the Cowboys and Patriots, Max, were to play today, Thursday Night Football, who wins?
Patriots.
Is it close?
No, Brady's on fire right now. And you got to think about, look, Jamie Collins, and now it's coming out, maybe he wasn't playing so well to casual fans, it looked like he was, whatever. But they just got rid of Jamie Collins. The real reason is not even that they need to get younger, cheaper draft picks, all that stuff, because of Deflategate, they got the first rounder taken away and all that. And because the Browns are going to be terrible, so that'll be the best pick they can get. They think they got another guy who's better than Collins. Yes. And Collins, to my eye, and I'm not looking at it, I'm sure.
And he's a rookie.
Right.
And he makes $540,000.
But I mean, just his on-field play right now, they think it's better. Forget about Hightower and these guys. So, it's, and Schlereth brings this up on First Take. It's not just drafting, it's development. And the Patriots lead the league in brain power by so much that they've identified talent and then they coach them up to be the best versions of themselves that fit within their system. And even then, like, what's the Patriots system? The reason it's so hard to prepare for them is they are a different team every week. It's like whatever the other team is, whatever the antidote to that is, whatever the kryptonite to that is, that's who the Patriots are. And you got to favor them in every game.
And it sounds like that is what one of the issues was with the Patriots, is that he wasn't necessarily following the system. Right. And Michael Lombardi had some great information on that. He's close with Belichick, been for years. Check that out if you guys want to see more on that situation. And Bill just wasn't happening.
I'm sure
anymore.
He was freelancing too much.
And Bill's also sending a message, because everybody's going to perk up when something like that happens.
Yeah. And like if you're going to freelance and you're not Lawrence Taylor or Troy Polamalu, well, you better, on the Patriots, you better be careful. Yeah.
There's no freelancing in Foxborough. This one's from John Lewis. Who's your early vote for NBA MVP?
Well, so far, no surprise, Russell Westbrook. Everyone knew going in. And some people will say James Harden, and we knew he would have inflated numbers in D'Antoni's system, especially as the point guard. But they're not winning against the, like, now they're 4-0, the Thunder are, and they just beat the Clippers. And Westbrook's doing what he's doing. And by the way, Harden on his best day is not as good as Westbrook. I know Westbrook's a flawed player. I love him. He's a flawed player. But they were on the same team. And they got rid of Harden. And no one thinks they made the wrong choice. Like, Westbrook better than Harden every day of their lives. So in addition to the fact that he's putting up bigger numbers for a better team that's winning more, he's at this early point. He's also a better player, and we all know that.
It's going to be another late night for you tonight.
I gotta get some sleep at some point.
You gotta see Russ and KD. It's too good. You gotta see it. This one was a two-parter. Take Andrew Luck out of it and forget any loyalties to what you said earlier on in the season. Who would be your NFL MVP right now?
Matt Ryan.
Okay.
Yeah, he's
I like that.
I mean, Brady on a per-game basis is clearly playing better than him, but he missed half the season.
It's him, Matt Ryan, and I think Derek Carr is climbing up a little bit.
Yeah,
in that
I don't think Brady's in the conversation. I mean, like, I know he has incredible value per game, but they were, again, 3-1 without him. And that was not only with their second-string quarterback, with their second and third-string quarterback, they're 3-1.
They got depth.
And the Bills game, that was like, oh my God, look at the difference when Brady's in there against the Bills. That wasn't Garoppolo. That wasn't Garoppolo.
That one on
that was Brissett.
Yes.
That was so yes, he's much better than their third-string quarterback. But in order for Brady to be in the conversation, to me, you can't even start the conversation if he's not 10-2 the rest of right? Like, because they'd have been 9-3 at the rate they were going anyway. So minimum 10-2, you can start even thinking about it, and even then, you can't lose 25% of the season.
Looking forward, though, it is going to be interesting to see what they do with Jimmy Garoppolo and if Jacoby Brissett is the future there. But that's not a question, just something we're watching. No question. Okay, this one is from Kanane. I'm just going to leave it there. I hope you get it.
Palamitam?
We're going to go with that. Sorry, Kanane. Anyway, are people sleeping on the San Antonio Spurs as legitimate threats in the Western Conference because of the super team?
I don't think so. What we've seen from the Spurs in recent years, the last couple of years, is they're this amazing regular season team. But in the postseason, in the playoffs, a younger, more athletic team gives them problems. And even when the Spurs, they're a weird team because some games in the playoffs last couple of years, like, oh my God, this is a machine unlike we've ever seen. They're invincible. Look at the way they move the ball and reverse it. And they always an open shot. They pass up a good shot for a great one and all this stuff. And then they'll lose 4 in a row to a team that's just younger, jumps higher, runs faster. And partly you could say, well, that was because Duncan was the, and he was getting older, although he was still good defensively. And Powell's not any good defensively. And partly that's because Tony Parker doesn't get penetration like he used to, and they really don't have a point guard on the roster that does that, which creates the offense the same way. And partly because Kawhi Leonard, who's a great player, is, when you talk about the best offensive player on a championship team, you probably want a little more than what Kawhi is giving you right now or may ever give you. He's a great, great player and maybe the best all-around player on a championship team, but you'd like to see one other offensive player a little better than that. And I just don't think they have enough from what we've seen in recent years when the fit hits the shan to mess with, a younger, more athletic, better Warriors team, for example.
Well played. Thank you guys all for tuning in to First Take every weekday, 10 a.m. Eastern. And obviously we're going to be doing these Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays with Max. But I also want to encourage you guys, Max is up on a lot of things. And some things that we don't talk about on the show. So whether it's music, some of the boxing, MMA, I'm not going into the politics realm. They can send in questions on anything, not just stuff that we've discussed in the show.
Send in questions on anything you want.
And he
we'll
might
answer them.
He might. All right. We'll see you guys
Tired
tomorrow.
and cranky. Goodbye.
Thanks for hanging with us. He needs to go. Bye.
It makes a difference.
Oh, yes, Lord.
What's up, everybody? Molly Qerim here. Look who's behind me. Still about to go. Stephen A., give him a shout. Because come on my video. Say hi to the people. But this one's about me.
Hey.
Do you know what he's doing?
How you doing?
Because he's going to be on First Take the next 2 days. But Saturday, tell the people.
I'm doing a Pacquiao fight. It's my first time ever doing color commentary on a boxing match. So in other words, I'm Max Kellerman, except upgrade.
I don't know about that. That's his territory.
No, that's his territory.
That's his deal.
That's his territory.
But
Well,
we're looking forward to that.
He
So
knows basketball.
Pay-per-view?
It's pay-per-view,
Okay.
top ranked pay-per-view.
Okay.
So check it out.
We had a very good show today, people. Let me just say. Excited about, we had the LeBron issue. What do you guys think about LeBron and the Cavs trolling, right? Trolling the Warriors there with the 3-1 thing. The other thing we didn't get a ton of time to get into, which I was really into, was the Ronda Rousey. So it looked like she's trying to sell the fight here when she was saying that, I'm probably done after this. Like, you're going to want to go see her fight because she doesn't have many more, but I really think she's just legit not that into it after her huge loss. So we got to get into that a little bit. Plus, Greg Jennings, if you didn't see the show, you have to check this out. Please, also while I'm talking, send in your questions so I can answer them. That's what this is about. Did you see Greg Jennings send in a video? It was kind of directed at Max. He had a little bit of a beef, something that Max had said about Aaron Rodgers. He came on the show. They addressed all of it. It was all love, all respects. They squashed it. Got a little intense there for a moment. It's all settled now, but make sure you check that out in the rear if you didn't get to see it. Now can I get the questions, people? Oh, and how could I forget? We have KD and Russell Westbrook against each other again. We're all paying attention to how they address each other pregame. What do you think? If he snubs the dude or if he shakes his hand? We got into that. So, who do I have? Dak for MVP. You're going to ask a Giants fan if I have Dak for MVP. Come on now. No, the guy's balling. It's so impressive. He got him to a 6-1 start. I never thought they'd be here after beating the Packers at Lambeau. And then for him to beat the Eagles on Sunday Night Football, that stage. But I think Zeke has a case there too. They're both considerations, I think. But for me, even though he didn't play a quarter of the season, it has to go to Tom Brady. Nobody's balling at his level. It's kind of the Patriots and then everybody else, as we see this every year. What else do we have here? Why is Stephen A. always angry? He's not angry. He's good. He's in a good mood. Do you think Jamal Charles is done after the surgery? No, not necessarily, especially when we see a guy like AP and how he's rebounded with multiple and came back stronger. Come on, what else do we have here? Who do I think is going to win the East, as in the NFC East? That's tough. That division's always up for grabs. The Giants beat the Cowboys, of course, week 1. They're going to take on the Eagles this week. That's going to be pivotal. If I had to, Redskins scares me the least. I would probably go with Dallas or New York to win the NFC East. Derek Carr is the MVP. You know what? Derek Carr is legit, and that whole Raiders team, silver and black, they're definitely on the come up, and I don't think a lot of people realize they're actually, I think, 4th in the AFC, and they're tied for 1st in the AFC West with the Broncos. Nobody would have thought that. And we just talked about today, which I think is a really interesting conversation if you guys saw, who are the 2 best receivers in the NFL, and we were discussing Michael Crabtree or, of course, Amari Cooper, and then you put them against a guy like Odell Beckham and Sterling Shepard, and then obviously having Victor Cruz there in the slot. So you can make an argument for either, but the Raiders, they're the real deal, and I think Derek Carr definitely has a shot at MVP. Tough to beat Brady. It'll be interesting how they treat it because, again, he was suspended for technically cheating, and he did miss a quarter of the season. What do we got here? Can the Bears turn around their season and finish 8-8? I don't think so. Those division teams always beat up on each other. It was a nice performance by Jay Cutler. I appreciate he had the heartfelt speech early, the Lisa Salters interview after. We saw the passion that we usually don't see from him. Turn things around. Love that his wife, I need to look this up here for you people. Love that his wife was a little fired up with like, can everybody shut up now? But I just think it's one of those division games, and it looked like such an impressive win because it was against the Vikings. But I think it was more so just once they're playing each other all the time and they're kind of used to each other in that sense. What else do we have? Will we do a show from Norfolk State? I don't think that is going to happen anytime soon. I apologize, but, you know, budget issues, people. Do I think the Lakers can win the chip? No dice. Not this year. Sorry, folks. Will the Browns win one game this year? Yes, they will win. They will win one game, and they just got Jamie Collins, of course, from the Patriots, and he'll be a difference maker on that defense. So they do have some talent. It's just not quite there, but I do think someone's going to fall to them. They won't stay winless. What else do we have? Dallas will be one and done in the playoffs. Eagles defense is legit. We'll see. We'll see how it all plays out. And as how it stands now in the polls are the Patriots are #1, the Cowboys are #2. So I'll give them their credit for now. We'll see how that shakes out. And again, as I mentioned earlier, when we see the Giants-Eagles game, that'll be very telling. Who am I putting my faith behind? What New York team am I putting my faith behind to get a championship first? That's a great question. Yankees, Giants. Can I go anywhere? Yankees, Giants, Knicks, Nets, technically, yeah.
Mets.
What
Rangers.
do you? Mets, Rangers. That's tough. That's tough. Right now, I'm going to have to go with the New York Football Giants, baby. Do I think Dak is a bad man? I do. I do, and it scares me that Dallas has found their future. What should the Colts do about their defense? This has always been their Achilles heel. They never have a defense. They've struggled finding a running game and the protection and O-line for Andrew Luck. There's a lot of issues there, and I think it happens from the top down. I don't think it's necessarily the coaching, but they haven't drafted well, and where they've put their chips just hasn't paid off. So they need to get a lot of key pieces, I think, on the defensive side of the ball, shore up that O-line, and get someone that can pound the rock for them to do anything. Because Andrew Luck can't be taking all these licks, and he can't be having to throw this much. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is about to be the last one. Give me something good. Tom Brady's the GOAT, and the Patriots will win the Super Bowl every year. If the opponent knows karate. All right, we'll leave it there. Thank you guys so much for watching First Take. We're on every day, 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Pacific. We appreciate all of you. You can also check out the re-air 1 to 3, and we'll be doing these Facebook Lives Mondays with Stephen A., Wednesdays, myself, send in questions so I can make sure to answer them, and then tomorrow we'll get it done with Max. So also, we want you guys to check out, we have a Veterans Day special that's going to be coming up, and we also have an Election Day special. That one you have to see. Max and Stephen A. will be channeling their inner the Donald and Hillary, so it'll be a lot of fun. We appreciate all of you, and we will talk soon. Bye-bye. How do I shut you off? Here we go.
Finish.
See you.